Hello, are you there? Are you? Good. Well, I mean, you feel such a fool talking to yourself, don't you? Now, I'm going to tell you a story. It's called Bootsie and the Beast, and I'm good. I know, 'cause I've heard it. Well, while I'm telling it to you, you better be quiet. Otherwise, you'll all get a good hiding and a good job, and that's it. Now, are you ready? Here goes. Now, once upon a long time ago, there lived a little old merchant who had 3 sons, Arthur, Lobbus, and Bootserella, or Bootsie for short. Arthur and Lobbus were older than Bootsie, and they were all mean and selfish, but Bootsie wasn't. Oh, no. He was nice and all tall and lovely all over he was, with crinkly hair on his head, and cheerful with it. Well, one day, the little old merchant had to go away on business, so he called his sons to tell them. Arthur, Lobbus. But there was no answer. They'd gone out, up the pictures. But Bootsie hadn't. Oh, no. You see, his brothers wouldn't let him. They said he was too young and it was bad for him, and they took his money and left him at home. Oh, they were half rotten. They were like castor oil and going to the dentist all in one. And then the little old merchant called Bootsie. Bootsie! And Bootsie said, wow! Well, he couldn't help it, 'cause those rotten brothers of his had given him the hump. Bootsie, my boy, I'm going away on business. Would you like me to bring you back a present? Oh, no, Dad, that's all right. Oh, go on. What would you like? Oh, I don't want anything. Of course, when the other sons had been asked what they wanted, they said money and jewels and dice and cards and a ping-pong table and fur coats and a TV and roller skates and goodness knows what else. But Bootsie wasn't greedy. He knew his father hadn't got much money. So in the end, he said, well, perhaps I'll have some jelly babies. Yeah, that's it. Bring us back some jelly babies. He liked jelly babies more than anything, as they agreed with him. And he used to bite their heads off. So away went the little old merchant with his long beard with little legs on it to do his business. Right across the fields he went, through a big forest and into the town. Later that night, when he started for home, as he was going through the forest, he took the wrong turning. Oh dear, this forest seems to be going on forever. I do believe I'm lost. And he was. He wandered and wandered until his little legs ached from tiredness and his eyes were sore from looking and his beard was covered in leaves. Where am I? Oh dear, where am I? Then suddenly the big castle appeared in front of him. Oh, creepy it was in the moonlight, and all round it were strange bushes. They were the strangest bushes the little old merchant had ever seen. Why, whatever is growing on the bushes, why, I do believe it. Yes, it's jelly babies. They're jelly baby bushes. Then he remembered. He promised to take some home for Bootsie, so he picked about ½ a pound. But just as he was picking the last one, he heard a sound. Oh, who is that? Who is... When he turned round, he saw the beast. Oh, what a thing to suddenly come across in the middle of a forest at night. The beast was all big and hairy and lollopy with a great big hooter, and he was breathing through it and looking all cross. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. I am not doing anything. Yes, you are. You're stealing my magic jelly babies, and for that, you must die. Oh no, don't kill me. You see, I'm only a little thing and old with it. Besides, the jelly babies, they aren't for me, they're for my boy, Bootsie. He loves jelly babies. Well, old man, I will spare your life on one condition. I'll do anything you say. Then send me your son to take your place. Well, the old man had said he'd do anything the beast wanted, so he had to agree. And the next day, when he got home, he told Bootsie about it. And Bootsie said, oh, well, I'll have to go. And his 2 brothers said, yeah, well, go on then. So Bootsie set out for the beast's castle. He was cheerful enough, But the little old merchant was very miserable at seeing his favourite son go off, and he became all mopey and broody and weepy and all. And Bootsie journeyed through the forest till he came to the castle. And then he wiped his feet on the mat and went in. Mr. Beast? Oi, Beastie, where are you? Oi! Here I am. What? Bootsie looked at the beast. And the beast looked at Bootsie. And then they looked at each other. And then Bootsie said, Oh, yeah, and you ugly. I know. Then he began to cry. The poor thing. Tears ran down his great hooter, all salty and wet and splashed on the carpet, with anguish and sorrow with the misery of it. Oh, don't cry. Here, wipe your hooter with my hanky, eh? Oh, that's better. Here, what happened? Did your mum drop you on the fender when you was little? No, I've always been like this. Ah, have you? Oh, rotten, innit? Still, never mind, eh? I mean, you're not the only rotten beast in the world. You should see my brothers. I mean, they're worse than you. Only theirs is inside and yours is outside. And Bootsie took pity on the beast and stayed with him and looked after him and cheered him up with stories about all the people he knew who were uglier than the beast. But then Bootsie started getting the hump again, because he dreamt his dad was all not well, so he asked the beast to let him off so as he could visit him. But the beast got all his wild up and said, No. Oh, go on, beast, eh? No. Oh, go on. No. No, I'll come back. Honest, I will. He promised. So the beast agreed. But then he said, You're the only friend I've ever known. If you break your word and don't come back in 10 days, I shall go all scringy and pongy and probably die of it. So Bootsie promised to go back in 10 days, and off he went to see his dad. And when he got home, he found the little old merchant in his little bed all not well. But when he saw Bootsie again, the little old man got better and better until after a few days he was leaping about and cheerful again. Bootsie was so happy to be home, he forgot all about the beast till one night. He dreamt that the beast had fallen down a big hole and couldn't get out, so he dashed to the castle. Beast! Where are you? Oi! Beast! Rotten beast! Old beast! Where are you? I'm here, down this hole. Stuck I am and dying of it. Hold on then, don't go away, I'll help you out. So he reached down and started to pull, but he was too heavy, and he couldn't get hold of him. At last he managed, and he got hold of his hooter, and he heaved and he tugged at it, and at last it pulled the beast out by it. But the beast wasn't grateful. He grabbed hold of him and started punching him and pushing him, and then he got his great hairy arm round his neck in a headlock and started squeezing his head. Squeeze, went the beast. Oh, went Bootsie. Oh, and it could, eh? What would you do with him? Here, leave off. But the beast wouldn't. And then Bootsie remembered the wrestling he'd seen on the telly and tickled the beast under the arm. The beast let go and Bootsie grabbed him round the head. I'll teach you to be beastly, he thought. So he gave him one. Then, with a shriek, a loud cough, a sneeze, and a splurge, the beast's head came right off. Then there was a rumble of thunder and a flash, and there stood the beast, completely transformed. The beast turned into a beautiful lady, all radiant and shiny. Oh, you have broken the spell. A wicked witch turned me into a beast, but now I'm all normal again. And as he looked at her, Bootsie went all sloppy and gooey and fell in love with her all over. And she fell in love with him on account of his crinkly hair. So she flung her arms round him and showered him with kisses. "Here, Doe, stop larking about. You're making me all hot and sticky," he said. But she took his arm and led him to the castle, where he found his dad larking about, all happy and glorious. His brothers Arthur and Lobbus were there too, but the spell that had come off the beast had landed on them, and they looked like what they've always been, all rotten all over. And Bootsie and his lovely beastess got married, and had 14 little Bootses, 2 pups and a goose, 3 lambs and a badger, and lived strangely ever after. And the moral to all this is, beneath every beast there's a heart of gold. It just wants someone to knock his head off to find it, that's all.